Welcome to PLUSone, the series where I look at the free monthly games on PlayStation Plus and tell you if they're worth the download. After all, the games may be free, but your time is valuable. Today we're opening April's PS Plus games with Drawn to Death, a brand new game exclusive to the PS4 made by David Jaffe and his studio. If that name rings a bell, it's because Jaffe was the brain behind both Twisted Metal and God of War. Drawn to Death is launching as a PS Plus game, which doesn't seem to be a good sign if past PS Plus launch games are anything to go by, but let's find out if this one is different. The game is a multiplayer-only third-person arena shooter. There are several different playable characters, all with unique abilities. I gravitated towards Ninja, a shark head on a human body that speaks Japanese for some reason. I don't know, I identify with that, don't judge me. Ninja's unique abilities, for example, include a harpoon you can throw at enemies or use as a grappling hook to climb walls, an anchor that ties enemies down to a small moving space, making them easy targets, and a barrage of sharks you can launch at enemies, including one really buff shark. Every character's special is different, and it leads to a great variety of options in combat. In addition to these specials, each player has 2 weapons and a grenade of some sort. Thankfully, loadouts are customizable on the fly, thanks to a unique sub-mechanic that gives each player his or her own set of alternate weapons that can be found randomly placed on the map. So, let's say your FU-47 isn't doing the trick for this match. You can run over to this floating icon and pick up your JRPG, which is a missile launcher that shoots Japanese role-playing game characters. Did I mention this game is amazing? Like, literally that is the best thing I have ever seen. In addition, you can change which weapons you spawn with and which ones spawn on the map after you die or before the match starts. The weapons are incredibly varied, with players able to purchase more as they unlock blood keys. Blood keys are given to you by gaining experience earned just by playing, but they can also be earned even faster by completing in-game missions. Think challenges in Call of Duty, where you're tasked with doing X amount of damage with a specific weapon type. I love this game's charm factor. It's so tongue-in-cheek with a little tinge of excessive vulgarity, just the right amount of sprinkling. The tutorial frog is so awful to you, I love it. The little hints at the bottom of loading screens will tell you anything from special moves, to insulting you, to telling you that you should make sure to vote for some reason. The in-game announcer is so gung-ho about everything. Even the trophies are fantastic. The first trophy I unlocked in this game was called I Hate My Stupid Stepdad. I had to stop playing just to laugh at that for a second. And if you couldn't already tell, the art style is wonderful. The whole game takes place as a bored teenager's notebook doodlings during class, with all the craziness you'd expect out of that. It immediately explains away all the chaos of the game and encourages even more chaos. And actually, if you look at all the trophies the game has, they go in order, telling a story from the perspective of that teenager. This game finds a way to make every facet of itself unique and charming. Now let's go back to the gameplay for a second. The matches are relatively small, only up to 4 players, with a handful of modes. Obviously there's Deathmatch and Team Deathmatch, but there's also a game mode called Organ Donor. This is similar to game modes like Kill Confirmed in Call of Duty, where every dead enemy drops a heart. There are 2 hills to deposit the hearts you pick up in, one stationary worth face value, and one that moves, which will give you double your hearts. No matter the game mode, the action is usually pretty hectic. At first, trust me, it's going to feel a little slow and you may not enjoy it, but stick with it. I promise the game gets loads better the more you play. Actually, even if you did quit, your teammate would just get a buff due to the game's anti-rage quit mechanic, which attempts to make the game fair and fun no matter what happens. If you've played character-based shooters like Overwatch, you have a basic idea what you're getting into, but this game's charm really does a wonderful job of making Drawn to Death feel different. It organically encourages you to play ranked by giving you a 50% boost in experience for all ranked matches you play. It's honest and even jokes about its shilling of paid mystery boxes that hold taunts, skins, and more. Better yet, paying for the boxes is optional, as you'll naturally unlock some just by playing the game. And to touch on those taunts for a moment, the game's taunts are hilarious. Personally, I'm a fan of BFF Betrayal Super Stab. I don't really have many complaints here at all. The only ones I do have are nitpicks. For example, I feel that having to drop into the arena from the sky after every death is a bit slow for my tastes, and I feel the game's loading screens might be a tad longer than I'd expect out of a smaller game like this. And it's worth noting that in my time playing the game, I certainly didn't get to everything. There's something called the Sphinx that seems to give you riddles once you have enough keys to unlock it, and I have no clue what that does, but I'm assuming it gives you buffs or perks of some sort. The ranked ladder seems unique, but again, I don't know what benefits there are to climbing it. Each character has its own level that you rank up, which seems to give you unique items. Simply put, there's a lot of content and I can't wait to see it. I'm telling you all these things I didn't get to because I don't feel any of it is going to affect my opinion of the game as far as this review goes. That's because I can say without a shadow of a doubt that you should +1 this game to your collection. With a load of content and entertaining gameplay loop that seems to put both new and experienced players on the same level, and more free content to come, Drawn to Death is a shooter that I think will last a while. If you're looking for a single player experience, obviously it's probably not for you, but if you want to have fun with friends or strangers, give it a shot for sure. The game's only 2.5 gigs in size, so you don't need to make much room for it. If you're watching this after the game has come off its free period, it's going for $20 on PSN. Depending on how long the community stays active, I think it's well worth that price right now, and with the extra maps and free content the developers are looking to add down the line, it should only get better from here. What do you think about Drawn to Death? Let me know down in the comments below. As always, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, be sure to hit the like button and share it with your friends, and if you want to find out if more of this month's free games are worth a spot on your system, be sure to subscribe.